thought of coming home so far away. 20-something years old, a little young, a little bold. Ignorance is bliss, or so they say. A little short on money, a little long on dreams. Trying to make a life of our own. Sunrise to sunset, we're hedging all our bets. Never gambled on coming home. No, we're never coming home. No, we're never coming home. People always change while digging through the ashtray. Plenty of pennies, but there ain't no dimes. And the tank keeps getting empty, no matter how much you put in. Sick of losing all the time. Another payday gone by, another well run dry. We're getting so broke, we're about to break. Yeah, we're catching it all in, all that sweat and all that sin. At about as much as we can take. I think we got enough to get there. I think that this is our time. We may be going for broke, but let's try. Oh, headed west in 46, past that old Jack Ranch, a little church that we know. Got the pedal to the floor, in the rear view, nothing more. Just 20 miles to go. I'm coming home. Yeah, we're coming home. Yeah, we're coming home. Been away too long.
Check. Test. 1, 2. Good morning. Thursday, April 22nd. Had to pause there for a minute. I couldn't remember what day it was. I'm freaking tired this morning. How are you guys doing? Went to bed way too late last night. It seems to be a recurring theme here the last few days. I don't know why I'm staying up as late as I am. But we were, the whole household was kind of out and about and gone doing stuff last night, being productive. So that's good. But yeah, Noel was doing football stuff and girlfriend stuff and doing work stuff. And then Abby was doing volleyball stuff and friends stuff and boyfriend stuff. And Allison was doing volleyball and then friends stuff. And I was doing, what did I do? I was doing my workouts, and then I had band practice. And the band practice thing is interesting because we've literally played together, I don't know, 5 or 6 times in the last 3 years. And so we've signed up to play at Barrel House coming up on May 7th, which will be kind of like a homecoming for us to be there playing that show. But the funny thing is that we haven't played together in so long. We're literally having to go through and relearn 3 hours worth of music, and so crammed in tight quarters with our band and loud music, and it's like a sweatshop in there, just trying to get it done. I'll show you. I took some video last night. Let me see if I can share my screen here. It's nothing too riveting, don't worry. But it's fun. Let's see. Here's the Facebook page. So here's actual footage last night of our band practicing. Let's see. Can you see this? Yeah. Let's see here. This is that's our bass player and our drummer right here. And then I came in and told my drummer to stop playing. And then my drummer got mad at me and just started pushing me. But I wasn't going to take it. I came right back to him and I showed him who was boss. Yep. That was us at the rehearsal last night. I'm just kidding. That wasn't. But that's like a typical band scenario where the drummer is having issues and the lead singer's having issues and they're getting mad at each other. And, but this is actual footage of last night. Let me see if I can pull this up. You won't be able to hear it. This is on our Facebook page. There's Billy and there's Todd. Let's see here. There's Ben playing the keyboard. We were without our bass player last night. Our bass player, Jason, is busy providing a blanket of security over Diablo Canyon most nights. And so his schedule's very limited. But we get him a few days to rehearse. There's Nathan, our drummer, our new drummer. Nathan came in as a guitar player last year, 2 years ago, and then took over on drums recently because our drummer is not available this year. But yeah, we were having fun last night, and as a result, my hearing is a little wonky this morning, and my hearing's a little off, but also I'm a little tired. You could see in my eyes. We didn't want to. I just kept hitting that snooze button this morning to wait and wait and wait to get out of bed. But I'm here. I made it. And today's Thursday. It's going to be a glorious day. We've got, what do we have coming up? I've got church band practice tonight at 5, and then I jet out of there at 5:30 and head straight to the backyard, which if you guys haven't been to the backyard in Paso, this is the old Chubby Chandler's. And here's a little flyer that they put together. Look at this, the backyard. It's thebackyardpaso.com. And here I am. Let's see here. Oop. Can I zoom in? I don't think it'll let me zoom in on that. But basically, it's showing all the shows that I have coming up there, which will be kind of fun. Starting Thursday, I play tonight, Saturday, and then every Thursday through the end of May, 6 to 8. So it should be a good time. Come on out and throw peanuts at me. And buy me a non-alcoholic beverage like a water if you want. I'll be there with my guitar in hand, taking your requests and learning songs on the fly, because that's what I do. And, we'll have a lot of fun. So the Backyard Paso is an amazing spot. And they just, let's see, do we have any pictures of this place? Russell Baker. So I grew up with Russell. Russell graduated Paso Robles 1992. He was just an awesome guy, super smart, very talented artist, visual artist, and just a basketball player. Great guy, and really good friend. Who married another Bearcat, Amy Howe, and Amy and him opened up the backyard and kind of designed it themselves, and this was their brainchild. And it's just a really fun family friendly atmosphere, and they've got great beer selections on tap. They've got wine and they've got food. So let's see here. Let me see. And it's the old Chubby Chandler's. They converted the parking lot of Chubby Chandler's into this this space with these containers. And I'm not getting any good visuals on their website. This is like really bad TV. Sorry about that. Oh, I'm just gonna stop sharing. It's just gonna kill it. There we go. So they converted this this parking lot and that old hot dog stand. Remember Chubby Chandler's was a hot dog stand back in the 80s? When they first built that thing, it was built to look like just a big, long hot dog, right, in a bun. And I don't remember. If you guys remember, put it in the chat. If you remember the name of the hot dog stand that Chubby Chandler's was before it was Chubby Chandler's. But so yeah, hot dog stand converted into a Pizza Shack. Pizza Shack was there for a long time. Russell came in and bought the place and converted it. Brought in some Sealand containers. What do they call them? Shipping containers, and kind of built this beautiful space with just a beer garden and tables and chairs and fire pits and bar tops and a little kids area, which I think the kids area has since been converted since COVID, but really cool spot. So I'm excited to play there. Oh, and they have heaters, which is nice. It's in the cool evenings, Paso. Yeah, so 6 to 8. I'll be there probably around 5:45 tonight. Get my stuff set up really quickly, and then just boom, off to the races. The rock and roll commences. So that's tonight, and that is, let's see, juggling that with my 75 hard challenge. Today is completed yesterday, day 23 completed. Okay, boom. Now I'm on day 24. So I'm going to try to figure out how to work in all of that stuff today. But I'm feeling good. My body is, I have two things going on right now. One, my hearing is kind of funny right here. The second thing is my knee, my right knee. I did 7 miles yesterday. I ran 5, and then the 2 miles that I did in the afternoon were walking. But I was walking. They call it suitcase carry, where you're carrying like 2 weights on each hand. And I didn't go super heavy. I was only carrying 15-pound weights, but both hands. And I walked 2 miles just carrying those 15 pounds on each side. And I'm sore today, but my knee is the thing that's the thing that's really concerning me, because it's just kind of felt like I felt like a really old man last night at band practice. I was like sitting down in a chair singing rock and roll, like an old washed up musician who's got bad legs. Well, that's pretty much what I am, I guess. So, all right, today's show, what do we have? We have Mr. Mac coming on at 7:30. Mr. Mac will be here talking about all of the events that are happening at the high school, athletics and otherwise. And then we'll do a recap of some sports that happened yesterday with him. And then we will, what else are we going to do? We're going to have the news today. Mr. Anthony Reed will come in to talk about what's going on in and around the North County. He's going to give us the updates, and then we're going to do some replays. I'm going to replay the Rolf G interview, the artist profile that we had last week, which is a great interview, and Rolf's a great guy in the community. Just a really talented singer-songwriter. So I'll replay that interview today. Also had a chance to get from Malcolm High. Malcolm High is the videographer that does all of the fun videos for us. Malcolm sent me a video. It's a day in the life of Archie, our trainer. And so we're going to watch that together this morning. And then what else are we going to, there was a couple other things I wanted to play you. We're going to show you, that video that we made for Mr. Mac last year as well. So I don't know if you guys had a chance to see that on the previous show, but we've aired it once before. I'll air it again today. Really, really cool video that was put together for honoring Mr. Mac and nominating him for a national award for Faculty Member of the Year. So that was last year, pre-COVID. That national ceremony that was to take place in Florida didn't, in fact, happen because of COVID. But it was, nonetheless, he still needed and deserved to be recognized and get that recognition. So, yeah. All right. So, anything going on in the world today? What do you guys got going on? I apologize. I don't have much in the way of updates other than just like my own story. That's it. Volleyball. I know that we played AG again last night. I don't know anything else besides that volleyball had some tough games, good matches, but we ended up not winning again. And so I haven't heard about baseball yet. I've kind of been late to the game checking in on all of this stuff. So hopefully Mr. Mac can fill us in when he gets here. But yeah, anything going on in the world that we need to know about? I try to stay away from the news typically because it's just kind of bums you out. There's nothing good. It's all doom and gloom. It's people killing people. It's people getting arrested. It's robots taking over the world. It's the stock market's going to crash. No, it's not. It's going to be the best it's ever been. So it's just constant chaos. So I try to stay away from that. But I'd love to hear what you guys have going on. Kelly says first Templeton JV soccer game is tonight at 3:45. Kelly, 3:45 typically is referred to as afternoon, but we can say tonight. That's great. And is it a home game, Kelly? Let me know. Well, I guess, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to click on that schedule and we can share it together and look. Okay, schedule is up. Wednesday, Thursday. Here we go. Thursday, we've got varsity boys basketball, varsity girls soccer, JV girls soccer at Templeton, home against Slow. There it is, Kelly. Thank you. Yeah, 3:45. Okay, so we got golf kicking off today. Napomo, that's at Hunter Ranch. And we have varsity boys tennis, which is continuing to dominate. Boys soccer continuing to dominate. Varsity girls soccer and varsity boys basketball. First basketball game. I think so. We'll get clarification from Mr. Mac, but yeah, I think it is. I could be wrong. I don't know. All right. Speaking of Mr. Mac, I'm going to show this video here. Let's see here if I can share it. Boom. Mr. Mac, where are you? All right. I've shared this before, but I think it's just a really special, sweet video that I'm going to enjoy.
Templeton, California, a small town on the Central Coast nestled halfway between LA and San Francisco. A town of 7,000 that cherishes its traditions of cowboys and cattle ranches, yet also celebrates its present-day bustling wine country notoriety. It's in this town's high school that we find that one teacher who stands out among the rest. Truly one of those once-in-a-lifetime teachers who continues to make an impact on every single student he comes in contact with.
Mr. Mac has been here 3 or 4 years. I can't remember what year we're on, but he brings a spirit and a light, he just lifts the spirit here. And he's done it with the kids, and he encourages the kids to think outside the box. And he gives them great ideas, and he's encouraging, and the spirit is really at an all-time high. And we're so fortunate that he's here. He empowers kids. He lets them figure it out. And while they're figuring it out, they're turning into young adults, and it's awesome.
Matt McFarland is the ASB director for Templeton High School. In addition to leading the ASB program, Mr. Mack teaches a class on social media and Link Crew, which is a class focused on making a positive impact on the school's freshman students. Over the past 4 years he's been at the high school, he's made special connections with each and every student who's been lucky enough to have him. And in fact, some of those students have gifted him a hat from the college of which they've gone on to.
The UCLA one was a girl I had in 8th grade. Yeah, some of them are back a ways. That first one is Will Hayes.
Mr. McFarland is a huge asset to the THS athletics department. Some people don't know, he gets up at 5 in the morning and puts out a daily update of scores from the night before and recaps and things to highlight the kids. And it's something that I can't get to. Sometimes I'm caught in the day-to-day things, and he's taken athletics to a whole new level, and I'm so thankful for him on campus. He's irreplaceable. There's no one like him, especially when things get hard in here. He comes in and he's really positive, upbeat, and just wants to know the next great thing that the kids are doing. So I'm extremely appreciative. Thank you, Mr. Mack, for everything you do for athletics. You've helped take us to the next level.
I grew up without a dad, and so I did have a grandfather who was awesome to me. But I also had some great influence poured into my life through teachers, through coaches, through different male role models that came into my life, mostly through education. And because of that, I saw the importance that played and the role that could play, and really wanted to, I really feel like I don't teach. I taught history originally, but I never really felt like I taught history. More I taught life, and I taught kids. And that's what I wanted to do, because I had people that spoke into my life when I was growing up, and I saw how important that was to me and the difference it made in my life.
The one thing that I was very impressed with Mr. Mack when I first met him was the ability that he has to create good relationships with students, and then and it's also been noted that the hard work that he's done to really create a good culture here at Templeton High School. He really reaches out to make sure that students feel like they belong, like that they're part of a family, that they're part of something bigger than themselves, and that really is where his talents lie, is the ability to get every kid to feel special and every kid to feel like they're part of a big family.
We like in Templeton to do everything the best we can. No second best. We want to be the best. We want to present ourselves the best we can. And so within about 36 hours, we created, working with our graphic design class, we created some amazing looking banners that we are putting up right now, so that we can get our football team pumped. And in order to pay for these, they were kind of pricey. In order to pay for them, parents group jumped in and paid for it, and a parents group, athletic boosters, and the student ASB leaders, they all threw in money because they wanted to have signs that showed our love and our support of our team. So we're walking down there right now to check them out, and they look sweet. Because, I mean, we just want to make sure it's up high enough that, oh, gee, we should put it right there. So when people are driving up, that'd be sweet. What I want to be remembered for, I want to be remembered because I was a loving person, that I was there when somebody needed them, that I cared more about people than I cared about stuff. And that, I guess the highest compliment would be that I made a difference.
I love that video. That video was a lot of fun to be a part of making.
Mr. Mack has had an enormous
more.
impact on not only just our school, but our entire community since he's joined us here at Templeton High School. Before Mr. Mack came here, the spirit level at the school was barely anything. There was really no student section, and then he showed up, and all of a sudden we were having 60, 70, 80 people show up to games. He was encouraging not only the students to come, but also encouraging businesses on Main Street to get involved. They all wear their green and show their support on Friday, just like our students do. And so it's really just enormous, all that he's done for the school.
Personally, I don't have Mr. Mack as a teacher, but from going to the games and the Wingman meetings and just all these crazy events, like the Wingmen, we get the crowd hyped up, and it's really, we include everybody, and it's such a great environment, and yeah.
So this is my first year in Link Crew, and honestly the class is basically structured on setting a good example for the freshmen and being the person that they go to in their time of need if they need help with anything. And it's really impacted my life personally because in the class it's just a family atmosphere and everybody's just loving on everybody, and you can sit next to anybody and they'll be like, hey, what's up? Everyone's checking in on everybody, and that's really good to have that in your life. Just so much positive people, and it helps us to build a stronger generation for the freshmen that are coming. And it's just really good class. It makes me be a good influence for others and helps me make good decisions in my own life so that others will follow by example.
Ever since middle school, Mr. Mack has not only been there as an influential teacher, but as more than that. He's there as mental support and to help you grow as a better person and leader.
I've had Mr. Mack as a teacher for 5 years, and all those 5 years I've been either in Link Crew or ASB with him. And when I was a 6th grader, so you could only be in leadership if you were in 7th or 8th grade. And when I was a 6th grader, I wanted to be in the ASB class at the middle school so bad, but I didn't have good enough grades to be in the class. And when finals came around for my first time, my 6th grade year, I went to Mr. Mack and I started bawling because I had got a D on one of them and I knew that I was not going to have good enough grades. And from that moment on, he always let me know that he had my back and that I could get through it. So he showed me that I was the one holding myself back.
Favorite color? Not even hard. It's got to be green. And it's not just any green, it's Templeton green.
All right, now it's over. I jumped the gun there. Fun video. Great thing to be a part of, putting that together last year. That was pre-COVID, pre-mask, distancing, pre-everything, pre-2021 life. But we really enjoyed putting that video together, and it's super special. The bond and the connection that Mr. Mack shares with all of the students that he comes across. And so we are very continuously thankful for his involvement in our school district, in our children's lives. So he's coming up here in 2 minutes. I just sent a text to Mr. Anthony Reed, who's doing our news updates. Dude must be sleeping, or maybe I'm in a dream and this isn't really happening. But he's not coming on apparently. So, but that's all right. We kind of adjust accordingly. We move forward and go from there. All right. How many spectators are allowed, Kelly, at the game? Let's see here. Looks like we have 4 spectators per athlete, according to Angela English, which, where did I see that the email that went out from Mr. Joseph Farley has a chart. I forget where I had that, but it's somewhere. I'll find it. I'll share it. But it shows you all of the number of spectators that are allowed at each event, indoor and outdoor. And I think we're still in that one tier that's worse than the one that we were supposed to get in. I can't remember if it's orange is good and red is bad, or red is bad and orange is good. The tier thing just kind of throws me off. I know that we missed being in the next tier that's better by like a super slim margin, but we're continuing to kind of adjust accordingly. So yeah, we will see. Speaking of tears, I have tears in my eyes every time I see this guy come on the show.
Wow! Wow!
Of joy, yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
I just, first off, disclaimer, I apologize. My energy level is lower today. And I'm not sure if I'm not even really exhausted. I'm just kind of in this like weird space where it's a Thursday and it's gloomy outside and it's driving me nuts, right? Hey, I don't know if you knew this, but we okay, Anthony's dad says he's awake now. Yeah, Anthony Reed missed his first news update because he was asleep.
Well,
Yeah.
it could have been that there was just some huge things going on. You never know.
Well, the guy has weird sleeping patterns because he's listening to that scanner all night, every night, and so I'll give him a break. That's he gets one pass.
I'm sure he's tuning in right now. Just make sure that he's got something good to bring next time he jumps on.
Yeah, exactly. No second-rate newscasts here.
No.
I don't know if you saw this, but we had the pleasure of playing this sweet video again that talks about one of our favorite teachers, Mr. Mack. Did you remember we put that video together?
Oh, I remember. Absolutely.
Yeah. If I were you, I would watch that video every morning when I wake up, just as a daily motivator and pump up, because that is such a cool video that captures you perfectly and your ability to connect with these kids. So I someday maybe there'll be a video about me like that, but I doubt it. I'm not a big fan of kids. First, that's the first problem.
Okay, that's not true. And second of all, you did such an amazing job. You and your
Nick Cummings. I give Nick all the credit.
Your crack staff of multimedia experts did a great job on that. So thanks. You didn't show it, right?
Oh yeah, we showed it. Yeah, I needed a pick me up this morning. It was something that
you showed it today.
I just showed it 10 minutes ago, right before you came on. Yeah, so everybody was just waiting in anticipation for you to come on live and do a follow up.
Well, thanks.
All right, so let's. I want to ask you a couple questions. Okay, so you mentioned in the video that your favorite color is green.
Absolutely,
right?
Green.
Yeah. Okay, so what is your favorite book?
Okay, so I mean, I've got a lot of favorite books, but like all-time favorite book, I've got to go with A Slight Edge.
Is A Slight Edge? Is that what it's called?
It's called The Slight Edge.
The Slight Edge.
Yeah, it's really an amazing story. And what I think I'm going to do next year in one of my classes, I don't know, leadership or link crew or something. We're just going to read it throughout the year, a little bit at a time. But the premise behind the story is this, or it's not a story. The premise behind the book is this. It's all based around the idea that there is very little difference between a successful person and an unsuccessful person. It's razor thin, the difference. And the author's point is that the only difference between a successful person and an unsuccessful person is their willingness to do what, yep, that's it. Their willingness to do, a successful person is willing to do what an unsuccessful person could, but doesn't do. For example, here's one for the students out there. You can cram the night before and spend 3 hours cramming the night before, or you could spend 15 minutes a day and you'd be much better off. You could, Annie says it's so slight that people quit doing it. For example, he said, and this will fit in right in with what you and Amanda have been talking about, Mike. Someone who works out or tries to lose weight for 2 weeks and then quits, changes their eating patterns, their workout pattern, whatever. For 2 weeks, they don't see a change, they quit. But the person who keeps going for the 3 weeks or the one more day, whatever, all of a sudden, if you were to draw on a line, it goes like this. It just astronomically goes up. So anyways, it's a story based around, or it's a book based around the idea and just looking at habits and patterns of successful people. And it's not that It's not that big a deal. There's not that much of a difference. If you were to eat a Big Mac every day this works both ways, good and bad, for 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half, that's all you eat is a Big Mac. Probably nothing's going to happen to you for the first week and a half. But man, that second week comes and all of a sudden you're going to see the weight, the health's going to start changing, all that sort of stuff. So it's just anyways, that was a long answer to a very short question, but.
So it's just a slight edge.
Yeah.
So it's not just a clever name.
No, it's such a slight difference that it takes. So
I put the link, the Amazon link to the book in the chat if anybody's interested in reading that. That sounds fascinating.
It's great.
I'm the kid that didn't do the 15 minutes a day or cram for it. Yep. I went straight to the headspace of like, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, what does this test really matter in my life? Right. And that didn't really work out well for me.
And that's the whole idea, Mike, of if it's all about the destination, like I tell my students at the beginning of the year, if the goal is for all of you to get an A, I can do that right now. I mean, I could give you all A's for the rest of the semester. And there we go. Hey, goal met. But it's really about the journey that you take. So even if you're taking a class, I won't even name a class, but your child or you are taking a class and you think, I'm never going to use this. Yeah, you might not. You may never do that. But the disciplines you learn and the roadblocks that the teacher or whatever put in front of you that you have to learn to get over is it. That's the journey. That's where you're learning what makes the destination worth it. So
well, I can tell you, math, I mean, let's be honest, like if there's one, no, I'm just kidding.
Right.
Everybody uses math, everything. And you use parts of math that you don't even know you're using when you're using it.
Right.
But you're right. It is about the journey.
Yeah. Even the logic you use to figure out those math problems, you say, I'll never try to figure out a math problem like this again. It's the struggle that you go through. It's the confidence you get when you say, I got it. It's the perseverance that you develop as you're working through that thing that you hate that turns you into a mathlete, and you know how that is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So the slight edge, you're going to add that to your curriculum next year. That's a good idea. That's fun.
I'm also a big Malcolm Gladwell fan. And he's got some amazing books. Outliers, probably one of my favorite books. Anyways.
The thing about some of those books and again, goes back to math. A lot of those books really dive into the weeds of like, probabilities and like for some reason, there's a lot of those books that the intros to those books really kind of like I'm reading this one called 12 Rules for Life right now with Jordan Peterson. And like the whole first 40 pages is all talking about like scientific findings and math probabilities and this and that. And it's just like my brain just goes, I'm out. Like I don't want to know numbers and facts and figures and this and that. I love human emotion and I like understanding why people make decisions they make and all of that. But I don't need to know the science behind it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know why we went off on books, but okay. So the slight edge, I'll check it out. I'm coming close to finishing up one of my first books that I'm doing on my 75 hard challenge. So I'm kind of filling up my bookshelf and my my shopping cart with the next selection. So maybe I will check the slight edge out.
Awesome.
All right. So speaking of slight edges, that wasn't the case with volleyball.
Yeah, I know.
No, what I didn't get any scores. I just know kind of that we lost volleyball. Although it sounded like it was more competitive yesterday than the day before.
You're talking
JV? Sorry.
Right, JV. Let's see. The scores were hang on, 25-20. So that's a win.
Okay.
And then 20-25 loss, and then went to a third game, and dang, close, 11-15 loss.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I didn't actually post that because I didn't have a picture to get it up, and I didn't have a whole lot to go on with varsity. So sorry, I will try to get that up there. So
it's all right. There's other sports in the world besides volleyball.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of which, man, thought of you last night when I was at the baseball game.
Ooh.
Because I remember you talking about that pitch you threw that you wish you could get back that landed a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
I'm telling you, there was the pitcher last night had one of those pitches that he wishes he could get back because okay, so let me set the stage. First inning, playing Tascadero at home, right? Playing Tascadero at our place. Ryan walks the first guy. Never a good sign. Walks the first guy. Then I think he steals second. Then I don't know. Somehow he gets on third or something, whatever. But then Ryan strikes out. The second guy strikes out the third guy. No, strikes out the second batter. So 2 outs. Strikes out the third batter. That's 2 outs. Sorry. Line drive to Robbie to end the first inning. So, gosh, the Tascadero hopes crashed. Then Merrick comes up with 2 guys on base, and he absolutely crushes a ball. And you can hear our coach saying, "Hey, you guys, tag up, tag up." Forget it. They looked at the ball, and you can just see the I don't know if it was the right fielder or the center fielder, just turns around. It's not one of those where you're kind of looking back at the plate and feeling for the wall. They just turned and ran. I mean, there was no way they were getting that ball. It landed forever away. So 3-0 in the first inning.
Wow.
Then we scored 6 runs in I don't know, I think the third or something, and mercied them 12-2. Connor Becker, who's right there, went 3 for 4, 7 stolen bases, 3 stolen bases by Blake. Just a great team effort. But man, when Merrick hit that ball, you just knew. And he didn't even swing hard, man. That guy is so strong. He just hit it right in the sweet spot, and it just went forever.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. Made me think of that pitch you talked about. And
How did the dugout look?
Oh, dugout looked great.
Awesome.
I'll send you a picture. I got some good ones. I'll send one to you. You can show it up tomorrow. Man, that between the mound looks great. This is the first time I've been out there to see him play. Mound looks great, and the dugout, wow, awesome. And Rob was going to give me. I'm going to post some pictures on Facebook. He's going to give me some shout outs that he wanted to give to the many people who pitched in to make that become a reality. But it looked, man, that infield, the whole field is looking
coming together.
Oh, absolutely.
That's so cool. Great. Well, good deal. That's exciting for them.
Yeah.
All right. So Seebeck, 3 for 4 at the plate.
Yeah.
That's a great day. Cool. Well, okay. So Ryan pitched the whole game, or what did
he got? I think he went 3 innings, struck out 6, didn't give up any runs, and then I think they brought in. I don't know. It's up right above that. The paragraph right above that. Gavin Platt pitched the final 2, and they mercied him since they were up 10. They mercied him after 5.
That's great.
So baseball, once you're up 10 runs.
Oh, cool. And it looked like, was the sun out? I didn't have any sunshine where I was.
You know what? I think that ball just cleared the clouds away. I mean, it was such a swing. I think it opened up the skies. It was. It was.
If anyone has video of that, I'd love to see it.
Oh man, yeah. I wish I would have had that. It's funny because I'm getting pictures of them celebrating at home, and I got a great picture of Connor, coming to third base, and Gavin rounding second base after they've seen the ball go, and Connor's got this big like he's screaming, and I'll send you that one too. But they get back, and Trent's walking back, and he says, "Oh man, tell me you got video of that." I'm like, "Dude, I only have two hands. I can't take still pictures and video at the same time."
Was
I don't think it would have helped. It was a rocket out of there. So
was Malcolm there with his video camera?
no, I don't think so. I didn't see him.
Okay. He didn't. I didn't see a time off request come across the desk, so he should have been there. I don't know.
Well, there were a couple other things going on last night, but normally he'll let me know if he went to something, and I don't think he did. But he'll have to make it up tonight because we got guys basketball opening tonight. Now it's not the home opener, not the home opener. They're on the road. But then we've got Friday night. Oh man, I'm going to that game. Opening. Everybody's pretty healthy. Playing Orchid. So yeah, it's gonna be great.
Paso beat Orchid. I think. What was it? It was like 90-something to 18.
No way.
Oh yeah, it was ugly.
Wow.
Bradford was telling me that they felt bad. I mean, they had like all of their underclassmen who had never played on the court, and they were still beating Orchid. I mean, Orchid was just that inexperienced compared to Paso. So we'll see if they get better when they play us. But yeah, it sounds like it wasn't much of a competition between Paso and
it's hard. Back in our day, we could kind of pass the ball around and kind of work on some things. But now with a shot clock, I mean, unless you're going to throw it out of bounds, I mean, you can't really keep the score down unless you can run all the time off before you shoot. But you also want to, I don't know, I coached, and sometimes people would get upset, but I mean, you still want to run your plays. You still want to practice because you've got other things that you're trying to work on. I know Colby Gray. I don't know if you remember Colby Gray. Colby Gray would show up at a match, at a tennis match, and he was phenomenal. I mean, so good, so much better than the competition that he played. At one point, he won like 150 games in a row. I mean, literally 150 games in a row. And
wow.
And he would show up, and the opposing team's coach would come up to him and say, "I can't believe you came today. Like, why would you do that?" It's like, I'm a player on the team. Why can't I? And it wasn't like he would crush people. It was kind of entertaining because he played a little cat and mouse with them, and he hit it back. He'd volley with him a little bit, and then when he got tired, when he got tired of that point, he would just back it. But he was always very generous and kind with the opponent, and he never, because he's lost before, and he's been on the bad side of a beating, and
sure.
But I don't know. Sometimes opposing, I don't know. It's a fine balance, but
yeah, you want to teach these kids to compete with intensity, right? But then you also want to teach them how to show mercy.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. And there's a balance there, and some coaches really have that, figured out. I mean, I've seen Crow take a knee instead of trying to score when, at the end of the game, when you could just, throttle somebody some more. And I appreciate that when coaches do that. But you also want the coach to be out there to win, and you want the players to be out there to win. And then, like you said, know when the time is to show some mercy.
Yeah. And then there's some coaches that just love the taste of blood.
Right.
And they just keep going.
Right.
Right. Like, I think you've eaten it all. You don't have to suck the marrow out of the bone too.
Yeah, and that's true. And we're fortunate at Templeton that we don't really have that.
Right.
That I've seen in my years here.
No. Okay. So we've got football tomorrow on the road. We've got, what do we have today? We have varsity girls soccer, varsity boys soccer.
Yeah. We got a little golf today out at Hunter Ranch.
Ooh.
Yes, I'm going to do my best to get out there to catch that. That's against Napomo. We've got girls soccer against Pioneer Valley. That's at home. We got guys soccer on the road at Atascadero. Again, varsity basketball. We got varsity tennis on the road playing in Santa Maria. So we got a lot of things going on: basketball, both soccers, tennis, golf. It's big. And then tomorrow we got varsity football versus SLO, basketball versus Orcutt at home, and then swim. It's a home game technically, but we don't have a pool. So we're hosting our home match at Atascadero High, and they're generous to let us do that. So looking forward to that.
Do we have the spectator guidance for like the golf? Is there spectators allowed?
I don't know. That's a great question. Golf. I don't know that anybody's ever put together spectator guidelines for that, because I've gone for the last couple of years. I've gone out and watched matches, and I'm the only one. And I just walk with a foursome, or I stay at the hole and catch them all going through. So,
okay, so you do walk along with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but you can do kind of whatever.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. I went out to that junior tournament with my friend's daughter and just walked with the group too, but they were only allowing one person per player.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've never seen, actually, we had one person show up last year. It was a girlfriend of one of the guys who was playing, and the team was so excited. There was actually one person there. So I don't know. We'll see. If the Wingmen have always said they're going to go if they ever lift this ban. But what a cool thing to bring some beach chairs and just sit on, hole number 4 and just give them the little as they come by. And what a great thing for those players, because they're out there working hard too.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Hey, speaking of lifting the thing, do we know what tier are we in right now today?
Yeah, we're still in the red. We were thinking it might be orange, and we're close. I think we're like 6 cases adjusted per 100,000, and the other indicators are both down in the orange. So we're close, and everybody around us is in the orange. I think I don't want to say it, but I think I'll just give you initials. I think SLO is really what's hurting us.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I don't know if anybody will figure that out, but that'll be like our code, I think.
SLO.
Morro
Bay. No.
It's that particular city, I think, has been running up some numbers that have kind of hurt us. But
in the beginning, it was the North County that was kind of the straggler.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So it's shifted. Interesting. Okay. Well,
hey, Mike, I gotta, it's about 5 minutes to 8, and I got some students already in here, but I think they want to jump in and just hear you, and kind of starts their meeting off, right?
Totally. Yeah. No, I get that. Okay. Well, yeah, you go do what you're paid to do. Motivate those kids, inspire them, and then I'll just keep going with this.
Yeah, and I'll send you that. I'll send you the dugout picture. They did a great job.
Awesome.
Okay.
Can't wait to see it. All right. Yeah. Thanks, Mr. McFarland. See ya. All right. That's Mr. Mack. He is the activities director and the ASB advisor for the school there, and we are lucky to have him. All right. Speaking of lucky to have him, looks like somebody needs a new alarm clock, huh?
I'm planning on the workout yesterday in therapy, so.
Oh, he worked you out pretty hard, huh?
Yeah, actually, I fell asleep probably around 8:30, and I normally set my alarm for like 6:50, but I didn't, so yeah.
Well, it's all good. You're here now, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, actually, my dad called me because he's watching the show, and he called me and was like, "Hey, I'm like, shoot, I am now." So I I was feeling good in my dreams. I'll just say that.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes the body just tells you when enough is enough, and you just need to rest. So, you can just sit back and close your eyes right now on camera if you'd like, if you need to.
No, I'm good. Right. I'm good.
All right. Did anything happen overnight that we need to know about? Any earth-breaking, earth-shattering news out of the county?
I don't know about earth-shattering, but I do know that Paul Flores was released from county jail.
No,
overnight.
Ruben.
I mean Ruben. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I was just saying, not
See,
Paul.
if that's sleep, I'm still asleep in my head. So no. Anyway, so yeah, was let go and released under what's called own recognizance. So he has an ankle monitor. He was released shortly after 11 last night. Picked up by his estranged wife, I'll say, Susan Flores, and KSBY was there when he was walking out, and he was released. There's a video on that. I don't know if you can put that up on the screen, Mike, but KSBY was there and caught him as he was walking out. So unknown where he was headed to. I could imagine that he was headed to Arroyo Grande. There's no telling there, but he was released from county jail last night. Yeah, there's the video. Yeah, so that's of Ruben Flores walking out of county jail last night with Susan Flores, and they got into their Ford Explorer vehicle, and they did leave. So just kind of an interesting fact from yesterday too, Mike, that his bail actually got reduced to $50,000, which it was originally $25,000 or $250,000. And so that's kind of interesting how that happened too. So he got released under the own recognizance, and he's being monitored by an ankle monitor, and he has to give up his passport within 24 hours of his release, and also he cannot leave San Luis Obispo County. So yeah.
And he needs help putting his seatbelt on, it looked like.
Apparently so, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's video from KSBY. They were there last night as his release. They said that Susan got there at around 10, and obviously Paul Flores was released around 11. So yeah, so we'll see what happens next.
What a just a crazy thing that's going on, huh?
Yeah, I'll say.
It's wild. Oh man. All right, what's Malcolm posting on my wall here? He posted a link to something. It's a picture. I'm sure it's going to be something that's going to make us laugh, because if I know Malcolm's all about making people laugh. So let me see here. Comments.
Oh, and just to tell you, Mike, I did talk to my physical therapist yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
And he did say that he's up for it, but he has to talk to his people about it and just make sure that he can legally do it, and especially when he talks about my case specifically, I have to sign some paperwork. So he said that he's willing and able to, but he just has to make sure that it's okay with his people. So
yeah. So for those of you who are wondering what we're talking about, I asked Anthony if he could get his physical therapist to come on the show and talk specifically about the therapy that he's taking Anthony through to rehab his body after that major accident that Anthony had, where he sustained super crazy major injuries to his leg. And so not only did I want to learn about kind of that physical therapy process as a whole, but really I wanted to pick the therapist's brain on the body, right? And our ability to kind of do different things to it to kind of recuperate and revive different uses of those things, and I guess reintroduce mobility and train the body over and over again. So just any chance we get to get a specialist in, let's get him in. So Malcolm is sharing with me a picture that Mr. Mack had already shared with me. So I appreciate that, Malcolm. We have that in the newsletter. But yeah, it was just a shot of Merrick running home after hitting that 3-run homer. So thanks, Malcolm, for doing that. All right, so the physical therapist, we're going to get him on the show, learn about your body. We've got a 70-year-old ultra marathon Ironman runner coming in next week to talk to us. We've got nutritionists coming back on in the next week. We've got, who else do we have? We've got the new owner of AJ Spurs, which is now going to be the Mercantile in Templeton. They're going to come on in the next week to talk about what they've got going on. We got a lot going on here. We're just always on a quest to just give the people of Templeton and the North County as much information and education as we can. So thanks for reaching out to your therapist to do that. All right. Anything else going on right now?
CHP isn't reporting anything crazy. They're just doing their regular construction assistance, traffic control, just making sure that people aren't driving crazy through all the cone zones and all that sort of thing. So nothing crazy.
Okay, and I did see too on the KSBY website the former police chief of AG passed away.
Yeah, I didn't see that this morning. Yeah.
50 years old, man.
Yeah.
50 years old, so young.
And I believe he just retired recently too.
He did. There's no word on the cause of Pryor's death.
Yeah, I think he recently retired. Yeah.
He retired in July. Okay, so well, we wish the family the best, and we are definitely sorry for their loss. That's it's always sad when a family loses a member. So, okay, well, Anthony, check back with me here at 8:55. I'm going to run through, and I've got to share some nice videos. I promised I'd replay the Rolf interview right now at 8 o'clock, so we're going to pop that in, and then we will be off to the races and check back with you in a bit.
All right, no worries. I'll be here.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right. Let's see here. I lost my cursor there. That was Anthony Reed, Paso Robles incidents and actions. Cynthia says the boys soccer away at Atascadero is today at 5:30. And so both teams are undefeated. That will be a good match for sure. And, you know, in tracking how their season's going, they're scoring a lot of goals. They seem to be scoring quite a bit of goals. So that'll be, I don't know, Cynthia, do you know how Atascadero is? Are they great defenders, or are they offense, or is it just kind of a combination of both? But anytime you've got two undefeated teams going up against each other, it's always fun to watch. So, and then the other thing I guess maybe we can figure out is if it's live streamed, maybe we could find that. I don't know. I'm just going to pull up my artist profile that I was going to replay for you guys. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll find out if it's going to be live streamed, and then we'll post the link. But hey, as I promised, we're going to replay the Rolf G interview. Rolf is a great singer-songwriter in the area. We had him on last Friday for Artist Profile. So here is that interview. So, hey, at this time, it's time for our Artist Profile. It's Friday, and I just want to welcome to the show for the first time, Mr. Rolf G. Rolf, how are you, sir?
Good morning.
Good morning, man. Thanks for joining us.
Good. How's the volume?
The volume sounds great.
All right, perfect.
Yeah. Oh, so you went with the blue Gray Wolf hat. I have the green one. The blue one looks nice.
Yeah, I like to support the local folks that support me, and Jenny and Joe are some cool cats, and they employ us, right?
Yeah, for sure. They're amazing.
Truth be told, I came back from San Francisco like 11 o'clock last night, and I woke up and I needed to put a hat on.
Right. That's I totally get it.
Otherwise,
Man.
you get this.
Yeah, right. That's awesome. All right, so Rolf, real quick, you sent me, Mr. Tony Domingos put you and I in touch with each other. You sent me that 32 Strong video and song, and I actually played that a couple weeks ago when you sent it. That's awesome that you were able to put that together. And as a fellow songwriter, I know how hard it is to just construct something like that, but you did it. Tony told me the story. You basically wrote that song in a night. Is that correct?
No, it was no. So, Tony is an early bird, and I think he called me like at 6 a.m. or 5 something. Luckily, I'm kind of an early bird too. I used to play water polo, so it's like one of those things you're up. And he asked me, he's like, hey, did you hear about what happened? I was at the game. My kids were going to Templeton at the time. And he's like, you should write a song. I'm like, yeah, I don't capitalize on things like that, but I have a rule, and I was telling my kid, and it's the same kind of rule that applies to music, because when folks are, when they ask you to play, and a lot of folks are like, no, I'm not going to play music. It's like they're embarrassed. And I explained to my kids very early on, it's like, when they're asking you to play, they're not trying to embarrass you. They really want to, enjoy what you have to offer. And so you always have to accept that, because it's a gift that you're giving to them. And luckily my kids are awesome at it. Like, they'll just get up and play. And so, when Tony asked me to do this, I decided, I should, because he's asking to do it. And I wrote it in literally an hour and a half that morning.
Wow. Yeah.
I think. And he could be right. It could have been the nighttime. I don't know. But I just remembered, basically doing it that morning, and he might have called me and then I did it in the morning, but I remember him calling me very early in the morning.
That's awesome. Well, it's so cool. And yeah, you're right. I mean, if you've got that gift, it's to be put to use for good. Right. And like, why not use it and share it with the rest of the world? And I'm sure, I know for a fact that probably moved a lot of people in our community, and a lot of people connected with the song. And anytime you can do that as a songwriter, it's like, that's why you do it, right?
Yeah. That was the thing that struck me about the whole event. I mean, it was a very tragic event, but just how people came together, it was amazing. And that's why we live here, and then even beyond that, folks sent me a bunch of pictures, and then a buddy of mine, who was my record producer at the time, or had been when I did my first solo album, I gave him a call, and he turned that thing around in in a week. So he went in and he hired a bunch of musicians. Like, you hear this cool gospel band singers in the background, and and I didn't tell him what to do. I just sent it on, and that's sort of the magic. I mean, Todd, right? Like, Todd's the same kind of thing. It's like, you just kind of let people do their thing, get out of their way. And,
totally.
And I was just really happy and proud of the whole thing. And it's really more about folks coming together than anything else,
Yeah. Well, it's a special song. And so I thank you for sharing that with me and allowing me to share it with everybody as well. So very cool.
And thank you for Tony for, inspiring that.
Don't give Tony any props for anything, because then he'll get a big head, and,
it's big enough.
That's true. Yeah. All right. So let's back up. I know you kind of just through friends of friends and through being a musician here in town. Yeah. We've seen each other play different shows. Let's back way up. Tell us who you are, where you came from, how long have you been playing? Like, I want to know your story.
So, husband, father, we moved from Orange County in 2000. And my wife actually had moved here from Palos Verdes in the 80s. So she was like a sophomore in high school. So she moved from Palos Verdes to Paso. But anyway, my outlaws live here. And we were expecting our second kid. The dot bomb happened. And I just said, what are we doing in Irvine? I grew up in Irvine in the 70s, played music, and toured the country, was trying to, become a rock star. And we sold our house literally in a week. And moved here, and so that's sort of how we got here. And incidentally, I'd kind of given up music, just because you can't lie about being 29, for too long. Music's very fickle. You're too fat, you're too skinny, you're too old, you're too young, like whatever. Yeah. And so I kind of quit music for a while, and then and I was primarily a bass player. That was my only instrument. And so I started, all the wineries. We knew a lot of folks coming up here, like, the Villacanas and the Cruises, all these early on, it was family owned wineries. It wasn't these big corporate conglomerates. And I just started learning cover songs because I'd never played cover music in my life. I just written.
Yeah.
And so that's how I got here, and that's how I started making music. But I started with punk music, and eventually by the time I made it here, I was writing country.
How funny. We used to the band I was in the late 90s in LA played at the Shack in Anaheim, like literally 3 times a month.
What band was that?
It was a band called Hummer back in the day. We were like a late 90s kind of pop punk, Blink 182 meets Foo Fighters style. Yeah. No. But then it turns out we learned that the Shack was like a skinhead biker bar. And we're like, wait a minute, why are we playing here again? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, no, that's cool. So you grew up in Orange County, and at the time, probably on the circuit, you've had people like No Doubt, and who are some of the other Social Distortion. What are the other bands that were in and around that time?
So I've even played a backyard show with Sublime because I went to Cal State Long Beach. And I was in a band called Road Noise. It was like some frat guys, and I was playing bass. It was kind of a weird combination. We were just doing like, rock covers and stuff like that. But we did one time. This was before Sublime was big. Yeah, No Doubt was around down Newport Beach and all that. I actually had a lockout next to Korn.
Oh, wow.
And this is before Korn was big. And I just remember, it's funny because I'm doing like this weird, strange acoustic percussion type band thing. We're playing coffee houses because coffee houses were real big. And we would come into this place and it would just be vibrating. And all you'd hear is this, rah, rah, rah. And I'm like, what in the hell is that? And so anyway, one night we go in and I'm like, the place is empty. And I'm like, I asked the guy who owned it, I go, we called them the Corns. I'm like, where'd the Corns go? And they're like, you didn't hear? They got signed by Interscope. And I'm just like, I give up.
Oh, geez. Yeah, we had in our lockout, we were on the 3rd floor, and right above us was Lincoln Park, and they were called Hybrid Theory, I think, at the time. And same thing, like overnight they were signed to, I think, MCA. Like, okay, well, now they're practicing somewhere way better than this 20 by 20 hole in the wall.
Yeah.
But yeah, those walls were thin in those lockouts, right?
Oh yeah. And they were, and they were all detuned. It was loud.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Just the bass just vibrating. That's awesome. All right, so you moved up here in 2000s. You put your guitar away for a little bit, and then were you always a songwriter, or did you just start writing when you got up here?
I guess a little bit of I got a degree in writing, so I was a writer. But I never really wanted to be a singer, and I didn't really want to be the front guy. Just didn't have. I liked playing bass and doing some backup vocals, and so it just sort of evolved out of necessity. Like my one band, the singer, we lost him, and then they said, "All right, you could do this." I'm like, I don't want to do this. It's a lot of work. It's like, first of all, I have a horrible memory, so remembering lyrics is like, the bane of my existence. And you're just on all the time, right? It's like, I like to look at the girls and hang back and put my leg up on the bass drum and play bass. I can't find a bass gig to save my life, which maybe says something about my bass playing, other than my other project that we do here called the Police, which is a police cover band, but we're the fake police.
Yeah, I love it. That's so funny.
So that's how I get my bass groove on, and that's also very challenging because you got to sing super high, and Sting is no slouch on the bass. He does some weird stuff.
Oh gosh, playing bass or any melody, right? Because that's really what you're doing with the bass guitar, is playing like a sub melody almost, right? But for your brain to be able to play one melody on the neck of a guitar and then sing another melody, kind of countering that takes a special type of person. So like any bass player that's a lead singer, Sting, Paul McCartney, that's a special talent. And people that aren't musicians are listening to this not knowing what we're saying, but it's like, It's like the equivalent of patting your stomach and rubbing your head at the same time, but speaking Spanish, right? Like it just
it's something strange. Yeah,
it's
it actually came pretty easy to me. So, it's just one of those things. Like some people can do it and some people can't, and you should go towards the things you're good at.
Yeah. Well, can you play a song for us real quick?
Yeah.
I know I put you on the spot and you were concerned about how this is going to translate. And look, it never translates well, but it's nice to at least have the opportunity to hear you.
Well, it's also, you being a singer, that it's 8:30 in the morning.
Oh, dude.
And, your voice doesn't normally wake up until about at least noon.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll do 32 Strong because I'm sure Tony's listening. I saw him chatting, and it is Friday night, and we could use a little bit more of what happened then versus 100%. Now. And there's a video. So if folks haven't seen that, there's it's a cool video. I mean, even Atascadero Greyhounds, the girls had like the green. I mean, it was really cool.
Yeah,
it restored my faith in humanity. Let's put it that way. All right, let's see if I can do this. How's that sound?
Great. Sounds really good.
Friday night lights fill the stadium, brings us together like a Sunday congregation, just a small, small town with a big old heart. No September night will break us apart. We're FFA, apple pie, red, white, and blue. We share in the wins and the ones we lose. We change that T on the Hail to an I. On every street corner hangs Team Isaac signs. Sometimes that last yard can seem so long, but we'll do this together. 32 strong. We got our prey on by you doing you, redeemed our faith, and you are what you do. Well, it might be a long road with some heavy hearts. No stopping us now, we're at the start. We're family, we're friends, strangers too. You got this, man, and we got you. We change that T on the Hail to an I. On every street corner hangs Team Isaac signs. Sometimes that last yard can seem so long, but we'll do this together. 32 strong. And sometimes it's hard to understand what the man upstairs has got planned. We change that T on the Hail to an I. Every time I look up there, I get a tear in my eye. I'm humble and proud of our little town. I know this ain't the last first down. We change that T on the Hail to an I. On every street corner hangs Team Isaac sign. Sometimes that last yard can seem so long. We got your back, brother. 32 strong. 32 strong. 32 strong.
Yeah, I love it. That's so good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were going to try to hit that high at the end, but you just nailed it, man. It's not early. You're good.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you get lucky.
I love it, man. That's so great. Tony says it gives him chills every time. Yeah, for sure. What a great song. So cool. Yeah, thanks for doing that for us.
Thank you. Yeah, I like I said, it gives me chills too. That song just inspires the hell out of me.
And Shelly says, "Great job, Rolf." So, all right. So talk about you've had kind of a transition over the last 10, 15 years, probably in doing different projects. You've got a project now called Rolf and the Chaos, which I've got listed kind of underneath your name. And then you've got the Foleys, which is your cover band that does Police, which is great, by the way. Yeah, and Rolf and the Chaos again is a great lineup too. So you're also playing solo acoustic stuff still, right?
So I do when Todd's not available. It's because I play music. So music is like my softball team. Like I said, you kind of give up on all the pressure and the stress of music, when you're really trying to make it. And because you want to do that, that's like what your dream is. Just like if you want to be a pro baseball player, I wasn't going to become a pro water polo player, but so I do the solo thing, but like I always like bringing other people on with me, and that's why it's Rolf and the Chaos. Generally, if Todd's available, I love the guy, but we don't practice, so that's the Chaos, because we also don't really do a set. We just take requests. And I'm known to just take, if someone has a weird song that I don't like, I'll just put it up on my phone and try it.
Yeah, for sure.
So we don't, we're not all hung up on being super polished or anything like that. We like to have fun, interact with the crowd. So if all y'all listen out there that are wineries and you want to put us back somewhere in a corner, that's not us. We want to be right there with the people. So we do that. I will play solo if I, depending on the situation. Like I've got one coming up on April 23rd that just came up, and Todd was booked because he's like in 12 bands. And so Paul LeWalt from 5 Parts Devil is going to sit in with me. We did a thing at Poorhouse, which Leslie, the owner, had a cancellation, and so she called me like on a Thursday. It was for a Friday. She's like, "Hey, can Rolf and the Chaos play?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we can play. I think Todd's available." But then Dave Robinson from the Jammies is still in town. He calls me. He's like, "Hey, let's play together." So then we got Teddy Ramirez, who's our drummer in the Foleys, who's now coming back from LA. And so we just got up there and started playing. So, and it was stressful for me because I was like, "Oh man, this could be chaos." Right. When you get 4, like if it's 2 dudes, you can kind of control that. When it's 4 dudes,
but you're talking about 4 players. I mean, all of those guys, including you, are players. You guys know what to do.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, and so actually, it turned out great. And those guys are great. But I've played with plenty of players that are at least like I'm not even close, and they don't coalesce well with others. So you just never know. The sound could be crappy. Like there's a million things that can go wrong.
For sure.
So that's sort of how that all evolved. And even now, like with Teddy back, we're just going to do the Chaos, but with like a 3-piece band. So if people wanted a 3-piece band, I would probably play bass, and then Todd would play guitar, and we would do it that way. So that's how that all kind of evolved. It's Todd's a whore.
He is,
and so
he's funny because he just he will not say no, right? And but at the end of the day, all he wants to do is be on that stage playing his guitar, and that's why he doesn't say no, and he knows that. Yeah. But he's an amazing specimen. We call him Toddbot because literally you could just tell him the song and he just programs it into his brain and plays it like note for note.
I started calling him Spock.
Spot totally, yeah, for sure. What's the show on the 23rd? I'm going to put it on the screen, or unless you don't want to advertise it.
Cal Coast Beer Company. So yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I want to give a shout out to Poorhouse. Leslie and Jake. They're the new owners, and gratefully, they're continuing music after Sean sold to them, and then Cal Coast, they're supporters, and that's going to be me and Paul LeWalt. And I've played with Paul LeWalt maybe 2 years ago is earliest. We did one at the fair. So that'll be chaos. It'll be different because Paul's a different type of player. And then Todd and I are doing Rava Wines on May. So my schedule's up to date at rolfgarung.com. And I should just do rolfg.com because it'd be way easier. But, the URL wasn't taken. It's because, there's no other Rolf Garungs.
It's GEHRUNG.com.
Yeah,
right?
and it's Rolf like golf, ROLF.
ROLF. Okay.
Garung.com. Is there a chat?
Have I been spelling your first name wrong?
Yeah, that's my point. It's a total birth defect. It's like you just can't get. My name is so weird. So the good news is, like I said, the URL isn't taken. Yeah, there, you got it.
Yeah, that's it right there.
So there's video there. There's Folies videos there. There's music. You guys can listen to free music. And there's also the show dates. So all the shows, and it evolves regularly.
Yeah. So here's your dates.
You want to know that. I mean, I try to put it on Facebook. So just friend me on Facebook. I don't have like a like me page. So, if you want to find out what's going on, that's how you find it.
And so you're still actively writing, right?
Yeah, I haven't really had a reason to write. I mean, I used to be little sticky papers all over the place with song ideas and hooks, but it's in my phone. I write with a dude out of DC a lot. He's like my Todd on the lyric side.
Sure.
And I know a bunch of other songwriters that I met like from Nashville and stuff that we'll do stuff with. I guess I'm due for some new songs. I just haven't been inspired.
Yeah. They appear when they need to, right? Like, and usually for me anyways, I will take, I tried to do this discipline thing where I'm going to write one a week, and that just doesn't work, right? No. It's like some days you'll sit down and write one in 25 minutes. Yeah. Like start to finish. Or some days you'll work on one that's going to, take 3 months to finish. And you're like, yeah, it's a weird, the artist's brain, I guess, works in funny ways.
There's two disciplines. There's the artist and then there's a writer. Like when I go to Nashville, we'll do 2 writes a day. And some of these people that are, actually have publishing deals, they're writing 2 songs a day. And then there's probably 1,000 writers in Nashville at any given time. So at any given day, there's about 3,000 new songs being written. And so, yeah, so that's a whole new different world.
And it's all been done before, right?
It's how you say it differently. And it's not about the writing, it's about the rewriting. So,
sure.
So 32 Strong pretty much not have much rewriting. There's a song on, you were playing it earlier. Well, there's a song, should have said yes. And that's something Todd produced. So by the way, there's some songs in there that Todd actually produced because that's what he does. He's actually gets paid to do music.
Right.
He did that one, and that song had been written for easily 5 years. Calling in Rich was probably written about 8 years ago.
Okay.
So tons of rewrites, like ad nauseum.
I'm going to take us out. I'll play Should Have Said Yes as we go out of the show because I want to hear that track. All right, so you're not really doing any active writing as of right now, but you are booking shows. You're playing out. You've been playing in the area since what? It's been 15 years now.
Yeah.
At
least.
Crazy. Well, I mean, congratulations on just continuing to plug away. You've obviously made a name for yourself, and all of the mutual friends that we share have great things to say about you. And, you're super talented. I love your voice. Most singer-songwriters aren't the greatest guitar players, but you're a musician first. And so, that's cool too, that you have that as well.
That's so nice. Thank you.
Yeah. So if you could leave us, give me like real quick, 3 of your top artists that you like. Who are your inspirations?
Well, my favorite band of all time is a band called New Model Army. They're an English punk band, and they're still around. Started listening to them when I was like 14, but awesome stuff. It's intense. From songwriter perspectives, I mean, I got a really great friend, Anthony Smith, who's written a number ones. He's a great guy as a writer. Jeffrey Steele, if you don't know who he is, he's written like 15 number ones, and like Rascal Flatts. I mean, you name it. If you can't check him out just online, I mean, that guy will melt your face off. He's so good. And that's why I started doing this, because I thought, oh, you can't do like really intense, heavy duty, like, Zero to Hillbilly songs and country music. That's not how it is. You watch this guy, Jeffrey Steele, he looks like this surfer dude, and he just throws down.
He just cranks them out.
Yeah, that's how I got into country music, because I started realizing this is where all the good musicians are.
Yeah, that's so cool. Okay, Jeffrey Steele, I wrote that down. Okay, one more.
One more artist?
Yeah.
Who I think is really good, right? I mean, I think Luke Combs is really good night now. I mean, he's not like one of my. I mean, I think the guy's great. I mean, Eric Church is phenomenal. Police is a great band too. That's why we do. That's how we got together. Is I'm like, I would love to do Police songs, and Teddy's like, I did my thesis in music school on the Police, and then I go, that's how I actually met Todd. Is I go, but I need a guitar player that can pull that up, because I know somebody.
Yeah.
And Todd was into it, So.
That's the perfect guitar player for a cover band like that, for sure.
Yeah.
So cool. All right, Rolf. So April 23rd at Cal Coast Beer. That's the next time that people can see you, and I'm sure,
6 to 8, yeah.
like me, you're going to be out everywhere this summer as we kind of revamp this whole outdoor venue live music scene. And I'll tell you, there's probably no better place to be right now than in Paso Robles and Templeton. This is literally the hotspot in California for destinations. And this area I've always thought is just so ripe for the picking for creating this music scene, and you're a huge part of that. So thanks for doing. I've
never played more music in my life, compared to LA, right? I mean, we was pay to play. Here they pay us, and I play 70 shows a year.
And drink all the wine and beer you want.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I love it. All right, Rolf, thank you so much. Before I let you go, do you have a prediction for the Eagles Bearcats game tonight?
34-31.
34-31 Eagles?
Yes.
Awesome. I got you down. All right, man. Thanks, Rolf. Appreciate your time today.
We'll write one sometime.
Yeah, definitely. See ya. Now that prediction was wrong, Rolf. It wasn't 34-31 Eagles. But we don't need to bring up the past. Let's move forward. That was Rolf G. So recapping, he's got a show tomorrow night at Cal Coast Brewing, Cal Coast Beer, Cal Coast Brew, whatever you want to call it. It's probably a proper name for it. I don't remember though. It's Cal Coast. We'll just call it Cal Coast. 6 to 8. He goes on. He'll be down there, and that's actually a couple doors down from where I'll be tonight. I will be at the Backyard 6 to 8 tonight, and every Thursday moving forward till the end of time. I will be at the Backyard, me, an acoustic guitar, a microphone, and your requests. That's what I'm doing. Getting back on the horse, and going to see what I can do to just strum my way through life. All right, Rolf G, artist profile. Tomorrow's artist profile will be Donna from Lulu and the Cow Tippers and O'Donna, and her guitar player / producer / co-writer / friend / one of my best friends / one of my producers / one of my co-writers and guitar players, Todd Andrew. The world-renowned Todd Andrew will be joining Donna for the artist profile tomorrow. They've got some shows coming up here in the next few days, so that they're going to talk about what's going on their schedule and where they've been playing. Excuse me, Frog in the Throat. And so that'll be tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock. And we'll go from there. Also tomorrow on the show, Irish Oaks. Oh, no, I take that back. I'm sorry. Artist profile, 8:30 tomorrow. Irish Oaks Ranch Farm Update will be at 8 o'clock. Melissa Johnson from the Templeton Parks and Rec will be in at 8:15. And then, as always, we've got Mr. Mac. And who knows what other crazy cast of characters we can drum up for tomorrow's show. Okay. Cynthia posted that the boys soccer played Atascadero last time. The score was 4-4. It ended in a tie. So looks like they've got a lot of offense going on, both teams, and some defense as well. So that should be a great rematch today. And so that'll be at 5:30. I have not found out if it's streaming yet, but I'm sure it will be somewhere. So all right. So we talk a lot about Malcolm and what Malcolm's contributions are to the community in terms of his ability to storytell and capture all of these things, right? And so he did a video that I'm going to play for us. I haven't seen it yet. It's a day in the life of Archie the trainer. And so I'm going to air this for you guys right now if you haven't seen it. I just figured it'd be a good time to showcase Archie and everything that he does. Now, Archie was supposed to be on the show on Monday with Coach Farley, but I think Archie thought maybe that he didn't want to be on camera or in the hot seat for like lots of hard questions, because I'm a hard journalist. I ask all the tough questions, right? Now I just think that he just is camera shy and he didn't want to be on the show. So we're going to work on trying to get Archie, but Archie, this video was made on your behalf, unsolicited. Malcolm put this together and it captures the day in the life of Archie. So I can't wait to see it. It's my first time seeing it, so I'm going to share it with you guys. Here we go.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Archie Galinado. I'm the athletic trainer at Templeton High School. Really enjoy sports and I really enjoy working with the kids, so I'm really happy that these kids get to have their seasons this year and get to enjoy their sports and have fun. So yeah, go Eagles. I went to high school, Morro Bay High School, so a little bit of a school rivalry there. I went to college at San Diego State and yep, and decided to come back and heard that Templeton athletic trainer, and I was like, oh, I'd love to come back to this area and kind of come back to my roots and work in a school that I played against in the past. So here I am now.
What are some of the things that kids have said to you that have warmed your heart after you've treated them?
A lot of it is just thank you, or being there for them. Probably one of the best things that I've heard is one of my athletes went down. There were just a bunch of other people around him, and he told me as soon as I showed up, he said, I'm so glad you're here. Everyone else was scary and you're a familiar face, so it made me at ease.
That's
I guess so. Yeah, just really enjoy working with the guys and girls.
Pirates on three! 1, 2, 3, Pirates! I get to do
that. This will be my 3rd year. This year's been a little weird, but a lot of fun. I worked as a part-time athletic trainer at Cal State Dominguez Hills, and then also did some per diem work at other colleges as well.
Describe the difference between, let's say, college, major college, and then a high school setting. What are the differences?
I'd definitely say high school, you work a lot more like triage and refer out, and you don't get as much time to work individually with certain athletes or most athletes, whereas at the college level you're working primarily with a single team or a few teams here and there, and so you get to really spend a lot of time doing rehab with the kids. I try my best to do as much rehab as I can with these kids, but with working like 5 or 6 sports a season, it gets a little hectic. So that's probably the biggest difference. You work primarily 1 sport per team at the college level, as opposed to like 5 teams per season. So, but overall, I really enjoy working at the high school level. I think you have a much bigger impact on these kids, and you know, you get to see them grow and excel at their sports and progress and get better. So it's kind of sad to see them go when they leave, but it's cool to watch them go from a freshman to a senior.
Absolutely. So you spend a lot of time here. What do you do in your off time? What does Archie enjoy doing?
I like to hang out with some friends and just kind of go fishing or kind of just game, I guess. Play video games every now and then, but primarily just kind of hanging out and not doing too much.
I got a buddy that was a trainer for the San Jose Earthquakes, and his whole thing was ice. How important is ice in doing your job?
I think ice is used in many different ways, and it's important in some aspects, and other times I think it's kind of overused. I think that it needs to be used in conjunction with other things. I think if you're just slapping a bag of ice on there, it's not going to do too much for you. But ice is used for, you know, pain management, reducing swelling, for a lot of other things. So it's helpful in that aspect. So I think it's important.
So I've known you as Archie now for 2 seasons. Does Archie have a last name?
Yeah, so my last name is Galanado. A lot of people get it wrong. But I usually just
do the spelling. G-A-L-L.
It's Galinato.
How could you get that wrong?
I don't know.
And how do you pronounce it there, Joe Farley?
I just call him Archie. He's a one-namer.
So most of the athletes call me Archie. They look at my last name and they're like, not even gonna try it. So I just tell everyone it's fine just to call me Archie.
So how old was the last person that said, like Archie from the comics? I'm 71, so you can embarrass me.
Probably you then. I'd say I only hear that from the coaches.
It's an honor just to be around this guy. Oh, love it.
Thank you.
All right, give me a Go Eagles.
Go Eagles.
And what was Morro Bay?
Pirates.
Go Pirates. So the parents go home, the stands are empty, and who's still here? It's Archie. So what time is it right now?
It is 7:20ish.
So when will you be actually home sitting on your selfie?
A good while from now, actually. There's basketball practices going on still too.
Oh wow!
So
girls or boys?
Boys.
And that's over at the gym?
Yeah. So
fantastic.
Yeah, I tend to stick around, but I also get in later in the day.
And then your day started at what time, Archie?
1, like 12:30-ish. So I come in later in the day, and so
that's pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad. It'd be pretty bad if I was, coming in early in the morning, but I tend to come in.
And the last
later.
thing you have to do is lock up what? You get all this onto your cart, and where does the cart go? You must have a shed.
Yeah, there's a little locker pod that I put it in, but first gonna play Tetris and load everything in the back of my cart, and then get everything closed up and locked, and
the day is done.
And the day is done.
The day in the life of Archie. Love it. Go Eagles.
Go Eagles.
Good stuff. All right, Malcolm, home run on that one, buddy. That was a great tribute, Archie. Really fun. There's, I think, I'm counting. You have 72 more staff members at the high school that you need to do one of those videos for. We've got roughly 6 weeks left, so you should be able to get most of them done. So Malcolm, I'll put together a list in alphabetical order, and we'll just start going down the list. And Archie A, he was the first one. The next one is Allison, my wife. She would have been before Archie, so you missed that one. We're gonna have to go back to her, but yeah, you got a long road ahead of you, Malcolm, to make sure that you get everybody done by the end of the year. But I think if anybody can do it, you can do it. So that was Archie Galanado. That video lives on Facebook. It lives on YouTube. And I'm going to see if I can get Malcolm's YouTube video, YouTube page up. And I'm going to share it. Malcolm High. Malcolm High. What is it? It's just Malcolm High. Malcolm, what is your YouTube channel? I know you've told me before. Let me find it. I'm gonna find it for you guys. If you haven't seen all of Malcolm's videos, you should go look at them because he does such a great job of capturing all of these moments for our kids and our families and our school. And that latest video of a day in the life of Archie is just another example of that. So let's see, Malcolm, where did you share? You shared something with me, and I'm gonna find it and post it because I could spend all day watching all of these videos that Malcolm produces. It's just it's good stuff. Messages, inbox. All right, I'm getting on it. Here we go. Malcolm High. There it is. Okay. So his YouTube channel is, share, skip ads. No, this is not what I want. We already did this one. All right, here's his YouTube channel. It's just Malcolm High Video. Malcolm High Video. He's probably going to kill me for sharing this page, but you know what? He's got a lot of stuff on there. He's got boys soccer highlights. He's got a day in the life of Archie, Arroyo Grande football highlights, Templeton High boys soccer versus Santa Maria. So yeah, all kinds behind the scenes football. Just great stuff that he's putting together on his page. I'm going to click on this link to the page, share it in the chat. And so you guys can click on it in the chat and just go, if you guys feel like getting teary-eyed and watching some cool stuff, Malcolm's YouTube channel is one worth checking out for sure. Thanks, Malcolm, for doing that. Malcolm's going to come back on the show. We had a funny interaction the other day on the show. We were talking about this picture of him and his buddy, and let's see if I can pull it up. Him and his buddy, he shared a picture with me of like old school out at the weddings that he would go do videography for. And all right, here it is. I was commenting on this guy, his teeth and how straight and perfect they were, and the mustache. And his buddy in this photo reached out to him and actually commented on the show chat feed saying, hey, gosh, you guys are giving me a hard time about my teeth again and my mustache, LOL. And so I thought it was hilarious that the guy actually, we weren't the only ones that commented on his teeth, but so I'm going to try to get this guy on the show so he can, I want to see what his teeth look like all these years later. It's 1986, 96, 06, 16, 30, gosh, that's 36 years later. No, is that right? I'm terrible at math. I don't know. I want to see what his teeth look like today, and if he still is rocking the mustache. So Malcolm, work on getting your buddy onto the show. It would be phenomenal if we could get him on and just kind of have another laugh at his expense, I guess. No, he seems to be a good sport, and it's all in fun. And we're just, having a good time trying to just make each other laugh and stay positive. So, all right, it's the 22nd of April. My name is Mike Brady. I'm the host of The Morning Buzz. If you've never joined us before, if you've never seen the show before, let's just kind of recap what the show's all about. The show is all about making fun of people's teeth. And It's not actually. The show is all about our community, the North County, San Luis Obispo, Templeton, Paso area. We do a lot of news and information about Templeton schools, obviously, because the majority of the people that I run with in my circles are tied to the school in some regards. We have a small community here, and it's a very supportive community when it comes to supporting the children. And so the show is really, the intent of it is to kind of lend entertainment and communication and information and positivity, right, to North County, San Luis Obispo. And so that's what the Morning Buzz is all about. I spend a lot of time interviewing people from the community, people from the school district, and then also giving you guys announcements and special things that are happening in and around the community. We have a news update that happens 3 times a day, sometimes twice a day if our news guy sleeps in, which he did today. He missed that one, but that's all right. And yeah, other stuff like that. So for instance, I've got an announcement here that I'll just go over real quick. Paso Robles Police Officers Association, there's a golf event happening on May 29th. If you haven't heard of it, it's Hunter Ranch Golf Course, May 29th. Plenty of sponsorship opportunities if you guys want to be a sponsor for that event, that you can. I've got a postcard here that talks a little bit about it. Here it is. Second annual golf tournament. There we go. Excited to join with our partners to host another great event at Hunter Ranch Golf Course. Okay. Please come join Paso Robles Police Officers Association for a fun Saturday morning golf event. Details and registration can be found on the website. I'm going to get somebody in to talk about the golf tournament too. And I keep on forgetting to do that, but I will have somebody on to talk about that golf tournament coming up. Sponsorship opportunities, plenty of them. And again, that is May 29th. Other things going on that you guys might want to know about. You see these T flags everywhere in Templeton. They're just big green flags with the T. These T flags are for sale, $37.50. It's a fundraiser to benefit the Culture Initiative, which is the nonprofit that's set up to raise money and fund programs such as freshman orientation, the Link Crew, which is the freshman mentoring and support group, student-to-student tutoring, wingmen equipment. They purchase equipment like defibrillators and a public address system. They purchased the PA at the high school. All kinds of stuff. So if you want to get a T flag, about $13 goes to back to the Culture Initiative. That's the profit from these flags. They're $37.50. You can email me. You can DM me. Whatever you want to do. Hit me up if you want a flag. They're everywhere. If you've got stuff that you want me to cover, then all you have to do is email me at morningbuzzaroundtown@gmail.com. You can also DM me, or you can even just shoot me a chat. That'd be great. Love to have you on the show. Love to cover anything that you feel is important that you want to get out to the community. And that's what this platform is all about, spreading the word. The other thing is, what else? There was something else that I was going to tell you guys, and I don't remember. Oh, I don't know. It's a Thursday, I guess. So, Anthony, what's happening? Anything going on?
Nada, but I did you a favor.
Oh, what's that?
You see that there?
Oh, you set an alarm. That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good start.
That's what I normally do on a daily basis, but for some reason I didn't do it yesterday. So my apologies.
That's all right. You know, everybody gets a pass.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and dock your pay. And you might get a write-up, but other than that, you'll be fine.
Well, I've had a few write-ups in my past, which was for BS stuff, I'll say. So go right ahead is what I say.
Oh, good. Hey, look, it happens. No worries. Luckily for you, it's been a slow news day and week, really, besides the Kristen Smart stuff. So, okay, cool. What do you got going on today?
I think I'm just going to relax today. Normally on Thursdays, I just kind of recoup and regroup from the day before physical therapy. So I think I'm just going to relax.
Okay. Well, enjoy yourself, get some rest, recuperate, and we will see you tomorrow.
All righty. Sounds good to me.
All right. We'll see you, Anthony. Okay, that's Anthony Reed, Paso Robles Incidents and Actions. His Facebook group is dedicated to making sure that you guys have all of the latest and greatest information of any events that are happening, news events happening in and around the North County. And so, all right, it's 8:54. It's the morning buzz. It's ugly outside. And what is the weather going to be today? It's 46 degrees. It's going to be a high of 64. It looks like we're going to have kind of clouds burning off midday around 2 p.m. I'm going to be down at the backyard in Paso Robles at 6 o'clock tonight playing an acoustic show. I'd love to see you guys out there. Oh, here's an update. So Allie at 15C is graciously agreed to host my Sip and Strum event that I've been talking about putting on. And so the Sip and Strum is an event that is going to be a weekly thing where you're going to come out to a venue, and let's just call it 15C for now, because that's the first people that I threw it out to host it. And she's on board with it, but you'll bring a guitar out every week. I'll be there with my guitar. I'll be there with some music, some sheet music, and a microphone. And I'm going to sit there and teach you how to play a song. Every week will be a different song. You bring your guitar out, and it will just we'll learn songs together. And so here's the disclaimer. This isn't me teaching you all of the technical skills that are needed to play a song. I'm not a technical player. I'm a rhythm guitar player. I'm a scrappy rhythm guitar player at best. What I'm going to teach you is how to turn an ordinary I came up with this yesterday, and this is really what it is, right? It's taking ordinary skills and turning them into taking your ordinary guitar playing skills and turning you into an extraordinary campfire host. That's the goal of my guitar teaching with you guys. Okay, I'm going to teach you how to cheat your way through playing songs well enough to entertain people around a campfire. That's the goal. That's the goal. I use different tricks, and so I'm going to share those tricks with you. You guys are going to enjoy glasses of beer and wine while we're learning songs together. You guys are going to get the opportunity to bring songs to me, and I'll help you learn them. It's going to be a fun thing that'll happen. It's kind of like one of those, art, paint and sip and paint classes, but this is sip and strum class. It'll be fun. It's an experiment. It's a social experiment, really. I have no idea if getting people together with 800 guitars in one spot, learning songs, is a good idea or bad idea. But hey, when you mix wine and beer with it, what could go wrong, right? So it should be fun. More on that as we get closer to kind of announcing the details of, what's it going to cost? Where's it going to be? How often is it going to be? What types of songs are we going to be learning? There's lots of details that Ellie and I still need to work out that I'm waiting to hear back from her on. So once we get closer to knowing what that looks like, more details to come. But as it stands right now, I've got coming up at the backyard tonight and every Thursday hereafter till the end of time. I already said that before. I will be playing on Thursday nights at the backyard, which is a beautiful, beautiful place. Here's the venue. There's the website happenings. Let's see what's on tap. Can I click on that? They have 24 rotating beers. Okay, so right now, updated April 21st. Here's their draft list. If you, they've got a lot of local stuff. They got non-local. Hey, they even got Coors Banquet beer. Old Reliable coming in strong. Coors, Kona, Firestone, Made West. All kinds of beer to choose from. And if you're not a beer person, they have wine. They've got local wine. Brady Vineyard, that is not my family vineyard. That is cool, though. I never met them. Be cool to meet them. Cass, another local, just a ton of local stuff happening here. Topless Creek, Zaneta, whites, reds, you name it, rosés. So good stuff. So they've got a restaurant Let's see what their food menu looks like. Roots on Railroad is the food that's provided. It's they're set up in the old Chubby Chandler's kitchen right there. But their menu looks like they've got a burger that is just out of this world that everybody raves about. Let's see here. Lobster roll, shoestring fries, breakfast burrito, salads, bowls, fries, smash burger. That's the one I was thinking of. The other thing that I've gotten in the past is those pad thai fries, which are amazing. So lots of good food to choose from. If you guys want to come out, have a pint, and eat some dinner tonight with me, I'll make sure that I'm playing your requests. Not well, but I'll play them, and we'll just pretend that sounds good. So that's this Thursday and every Thursday hereafter down at the backyard. If you guys want to come out, I'd love to see your faces and learn songs for you guys. That's it. It's 9 o'clock. We are done. We made it through another edition of the Morning Buzz, and I just want to thank you for hanging out with me today. Again, email me at morningbuzz@gmail or morningbuzzaroundtown@gmail.com, and then we will go from there. So it's Thursday. Be well today. Don't let the lack of sunshine dampen your spirits or your day. Go out, get some fresh air, count to 20, take some deep breaths, and then go back to what you're doing. So that's